BMW CEO Oliver Zipse has just made a bold move that's turning heads across the auto world. He's unveiled a groundbreaking new engine that could flip the entire electric vehicle (EV) industry on its axis. The announcement has sparked intense debate among experts and car lovers alike. Could this be the first real challenge to the unstoppable rise of EVs? But Zipse isn't just unveiling a new engine. He's making a statement. It's a declaration that BMW isn't ready to let go of the internal combustion engine (ICE) era just yet. With decades of innovation behind them, the German giant seems poised to take the fight directly to electric vehicles and maybe even restore ICE technology to its former glory. Before we dive deeper, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're into future-shaping automotive news. For decades, BMW has led the pack in performance engineering. Their brand is built on crafting machines that merge high-end luxury with pulse-raising driving experiences. But like most of the industry, BMW has had to pivot, pressured by stricter emissions laws and the rising tide of climate consciousness. The EV revolution hasn't left them untouched. Driven by government regulations and shifting public sentiment, even traditional automakers have had no choice but to heavily invest in electric tech. BMW joined the charge with models like the i3, i4, and the flagship all-electric i9. Still, there's always been an undercurrent of hesitation, as if BMW wasn't quite ready to write off combustion engines entirely. This skepticism is shared by other major automakers like Toyota and Mazda, both of which have continued to develop ICE technology alongside their electric offerings. However, BMW's latest announcement takes this reluctance to fully embrace electrification to a new level. Oliver Zipse's revelation of a new engine is not just a proclamation of BMW's engineering prowess, but also a challenge to the prevailing narrative that the future of mobility is exclusively electric. The new engine, which remains under tight wraps, is rumored to incorporate cutting-edge technologies that push the boundaries of efficiency, power, and emissions control. Sources within BMW suggest that this engine could be a hybrid of traditional ICE and new innovations, possibly integrating aspects of hydrogen fuel cells or advanced turbocharging systems that minimize environmental impact. This is said to offer unprecedented power output and fuel efficiency, potentially outperforming even the most advanced electric motors currently on the market. Furthermore, BMW claims that this engine could meet or even exceed the stringent emission standards being introduced globally, positioning it as a viable alternative to full electrification. By achieving such a balance, BMW aims to address the primary concerns that have driven the shift to EVs, reducing carbon emissions and increasing fuel efficiency, without sacrificing performance or driving pleasure. The announcement of BMW's new engine has been perceived by many as a direct affront to the electric vehicle industry. Over the past decade, EVs have been heralded as the future of transportation, with companies like Tesla leading the charge. Tesla's rise to prominence, driven by its charismatic CEO Elon Musk, has been nothing short of meteoric. The company has set the benchmark for electric vehicles, with models like the Model S, Model 3, and Model Y becoming symbols of a new era of automotive engineering. Tesla is not alone in the EV space. Established automakers like Ford, General Motors, and Volkswagen have all made significant investments in electric vehicle technology. Ford's Mustang Mach-E and the F-150 Lightning, General Motors' Chevrolet Bolt and Hummer EV, and Volkswagen's ID series have all been well received in the market, signaling a major shift in consumer preferences toward electric mobility. However, BMW's new engine threatens to disrupt this momentum by offering a powertrain that promises to combine the best of both worlds, traditional ICE benefits with modern efficiency and emission standards. BMW could sway consumers who are still on the fence about fully transitioning to electric vehicles. There remains a substantial segment of the market that is resistant to EVs due to concerns over range anxiety, charging infrastructure, and the overall driving experience. BMW's new engine could appeal to these consumers, providing them with a compelling alternative that does not require them to compromise on performance or convenience. The reaction from consumers will be crucial in determining the success of BMW's new engine. While there is certainly a segment of the market that remains loyal to internal combustion engines, the question is whether this group is large enough to counterbalance the growing number of EV enthusiasts. BMW will need to carefully position this new engine to appeal to a broad audience, emphasizing its environmental credentials, performance capabilities, and the driving experience it offers. Price will also be a critical factor. Electric vehicles have been steadily decreasing in cost as battery technology improves and economies of scale are achieved. To compete effectively, BMW's new engine must not only match EVs in terms of performance and efficiency, but also be priced competitively. If the new engine is seen as a premium option that is out of reach for the average consumer, it may struggle to gain traction in a market that is increasingly price-sensitive. Moreover, BMW will need to address the growing infrastructure for electric vehicles. Governments around the world are investing heavily in EV charging networks, and many cities are introducing incentives for electric vehicle owners, such as reduced taxes and access to restricted areas. BMW's new engine, no matter how advanced, could face challenges in markets where EVs are being actively promoted by government policies. The company will need to lobby for favorable regulations or develop its own strategies to ensure that its new engine is not disadvantaged by the policy landscape. One of the most significant aspects of BMW's announcement is its potential impact on the ongoing debate about the environmental sustainability of internal combustion engines versus electric vehicles. The push for electrification has been largely driven by the need to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and combat climate change. EVs, which produce no tailpipe emissions, have been seen as a key solution to this problem. However, the environmental benefits of EVs are not without controversy. The production of batteries, particularly the mining of lithium and cobalt, has raised concerns about the environmental and social impacts of the supply chain. Additionally, the carbon footprint of manufacturing EVs can be significant, especially if the electricity used for production and charging comes from non-renewable sources. These factors have led some to question whether EVs are truly the panacea they are often portrayed to be. BMW's new engine, if it can deliver on its promises of low emissions and high efficiency, could reignite the debate over the best path forward for sustainable transportation. If the engine can operate on synthetic fuels or biofuels, which are produced from renewable resources and can have a neutral carbon footprint, it could offer an alternative route to reducing automotive emissions without the need to transition entirely to electric power. This would be particularly appealing in regions where the electrical grid is still heavily reliant on fossil fuels, making the environmental benefits of EVs less clear-cut. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, could you leave your comments below and tell us, what impact will this engine have on the EV industry? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.